Thank you for joining us on A Fine Podcast with your hosts, Amanda and
Joseph. Yes, welcome. We are here to talk about the 20th anniversary of Dancing with the Stars.
yes, 20 years. Such a special night where they dedicated time to remember the stars that have passed away and also Len Goodman.
Yeah, it was a nice night. You got to kind of have a good reflection of the whole series of the show and when they first started. And
Beautiful number.
yeah, they had a good intro where they had some of the original the original pros coming back and doing a routine. And
That was very nice.
yeah.
And then it kind of transitioned to the future and current time with the current pros, which was cool. And then a really awesome part about this episode, too, is Tom, the original host, came back and he was the fourth judge.
I was stunned to see that because I thought there was some tension when he left.
I
So.
think there was. And I read today that there was some tension, but the people that let him go are no longer there, like on staff with Dancing with the Stars. And everybody else in the Dancing with the Stars family loves him and wanted him to come back. So he has moved on and put all that aside since I think it was like 2019 or something when he left.
Okay.
So yeah, he still loves Dancing with the Stars and all of that, but I think it was a shock when they essentially let him go
Right.
after so many years.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it was nice to see him. And yeah, it was fun for him to be a judge. And
I thought his feedback was very good and his scoring was on point. For someone who's not a professional dancer, he really took in a lot as the host to understand the craft.
yeah, right. Which I would guess, maybe watching it for 15 years and kind of seeing how, Len, Bruno, and Carrie Ann have judged over the years, he probably has gotten a pretty good grasp of what they'd probably be giving
Right.
them. But yeah, no, I think he wasn't, like Flava Flav, who was just gonna kind of be a little more optimistic about things than maybe it needed to be. But
Oh, he was nice. He was friendly. He gave good feedback.
yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I think he was a fun judge.
Yeah. And I think it was also really nice for the show to honor him as well for all of his time.
Yeah, well, I see why. I forgot they mentioned the last episode that there was, we didn't see it, but on Good Morning America, there's going to be the announcing of who the judge was. But I can see now why they had the kind of more of a this big reveal, or because normally, right, they just mention it on the same night of like, oh, it'll be so and so.
Because this was such a huge surprise.
Yeah.
So first we had Elaine and Alan. They performed a salsa to It Takes Two. And this was inspired by a dance from season 3, Mario Lopez and Karina Smirnoff. And this got 4 9s. And this was a pretty good salsa that they had together.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was very well executed. It worked nicely. I mean, I didn't get that at the end of it, like blown off my feet kind of presentation, but overall, I mean, it was very well executed. So yeah, I think the 9s were appropriate.
Yeah. I still think she's doing great post injury.
Yeah, I mean, she really hasn't shown any sign of that slowing her down, which is great to see. So,
And the judges called her a sizzling salsa queen.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we saw that.
So next we had Jordan and Ezra. They did a cha-cha-cha to Get Up, and this was inspired by Wayne Brady's season 31 freestyle. And they received 3 9s and a 10. And Carrie Ann gave feedback that Jordan's shoulders are coming up when she's turning.
Yeah, and I think we kind of saw that the previous time as well. So yeah, it does maybe seems like this is something she'll need to nip in the bud. But
Yes. Carrie Ann called it a strong dance, but a little bit wild at times.
I mean, I kind of before she had mentioned, I didn't take great note of that, but then kind of reflecting when she, I do agree with that. But watching it though, I thought it was this had much more of a wow factor, I think, than Elaine's did. But so I agree at least that she got the some of the tens. But
Yeah. But now's kind of her time to step it up again because of all the competition she has that we'll see here. So next we had Alex and Val. They did a foxtrot to Singin' in the Rain. And this was inspired by Neve Schulman's season 29 freestyle.
yeah, this I think was probably my favorite of the whole night. And
They got 4 tens too.
oh yeah, and it was
Perfect score.
yeah, it was well deserved. I mean, it was great, and they did testaments to the original some of the same moves that Gene did.
We're in the
And
movie.
yeah,
Yeah, that
and
was really
so
great.
that was really nice that Val added those, and yeah, it was. I mean, I think it was pretty near flawless.
Yeah,
So
it was a classic, great dance.
yeah, I loved it.
She's a top contender this competition.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think we pretty much all know at this point it's her, Robert, and Whitney are the triple threat for
The trophy.
who will take it.
So next we had Dylan and Daniela. They did a contemporary to the world's greatest. And this was inspired by Christy Yamaguchi and Mark Ballas's season 6 freestyle. And they received 4 tens. Perfect score.
Yeah, I was kind of I don't know. I guess it. I mean, it was technically very good. I thought there were some parts right where he didn't have his bum tech his bum tucked in when in frame, but but I definitely didn't get like the I don't know the crazy wow factor.
Yeah, I think we
for
were
this,
shocked at
but
this. We thought it would be 9s and
I thought it'd be a mixture of some nines and tens, but I didn't think the tens all around. But I mean, I could get it, but yeah, just personally, I wasn't like enthralled with it. But I
yeah.
mean, it was well executed. But
I think the judges were giving him credits for the lifts and tricks that were added into that routine, which
oh,
were very difficult.
yeah, that was the other thing though I thought was weird was, and maybe just because they did a close up of the camera, right, and so it was harder to see probably from their point of view. But when they did that lift, because he was very serious, right? They had the serious character, and then they did this lift, and then they pulled the move off, but then they smiled at each other, and I thought like during the you should do
That
it.
was the part that was shocking to us. We're like, what?
It just felt weird because I mean I get it, right? Like you did this really hard move, right? But you should hold it until the end of the routine, right? Like because because you were this very stern, serious, guy and portraying in the dance, and then you have this laugh and smile, and then
Yeah,
it
that's
just
not great.
it just like kind of took you out for a minute, and so I don't know. I mean that may just be a personal thing, but it just felt like
No,
he
I
stepped out
think
of character
that shouldn't have been there.
and
That's why we thought he
and
should get the
didn't.
9.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if that was
Worthy
worthy
of
enough to
9.
just knock him down to a 9.
But it did take you
but
out of the whole feeling of the dance because they're all serious and proper, and then the next second they're like, ha ha ha.
right.
So
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not
that was weird.
discrediting that they did. The move was very challenging, and they did a great job of doing it. But it just felt like you should probably wait until the end of the routine
To
be
celebrate.
able to- yeah. But
All right, so next we had Andy and Emma. They did a contemporary to We Are the Champions by Queen. And this was inspired by Adam and Jenna, their season 26 freestyle, Adam Rippon. And this was Andy's final dance of the season, and his final scores 3 7s and 1 8.
yeah, well, I was actually shocked that he finally. Now he was 7 points away from Elaine. I kind of was thinking Elaine just because he had beaten the one time he was down 7 points and still beat out. I think it was Jen, but so I kind of thought Elaine was going to be going home, but I don't know. Maybe some of his fan base just didn't turn out, or
I think it was because he was just so much lower than everybody. It's time to.
yeah,
It just didn't work out. But yeah, maybe some of the fans didn't call in,
Yeah, but so yeah, I mean, nonetheless, he's.
text in, not call in.
I mean, he was great. It's fun to see, but you are just seeing like a level difference, right? I mean,
We are the champions.
yeah, I mean, you just have you know someone like Alex in this
Yeah,
competition,
compare it to Singing in the Rain.
and then you've
Compare it to
got
that.
Andy, and there's nothing wrong. I mean, he's working hard. He's been pushing like crazy, and
And it was a nice performance, but
yeah,
it's not like the people who are left make sense, right?
right.
Andy in the mix was just kind of like a fun add-on, but he's not really on par with the others in terms of dancing.
Yeah, just the technicality is just not there compared to the other people in the mix. So
All right, so next we had Robert and Whitney. They did a foxtrot to Footprints in the Sand, and this was inspired by Bindi and Derek's season 21 freestyle, which Bindi dedicated to her late father, Steve. And this was the most emotional performance that we have seen.
yeah, this was I don't know. It almost felt like Robert got a way to be able to
Dedicate one
commemorate
to
a
his
dance to
mom
his mom.
and his dad. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because he was able to do the dedication night to his mother, and then able to redo this basically a very similar dance that Bindi did, and so
This was so nice. The images of Steve with Robert on the screen was really touching, and then Bindi ran out to embrace him with Whitney, and then he was in tears.
well, yeah, having Bindi at the end was very nice. I think that was a nice way to end it, and I mean the projection. I was shocked that they did that, but
That was so sweet. Imagine seeing your
oh
father.
no, for sure. But then I don't know for Robert, right? He probably doesn't want to. He already had like the emotional
emotion,
night.
yeah.
He doesn't want to have.
Well, I think that's
another
what
night
threw him over the top. He looked up and saw his
Oh,
dad and
yeah.
him, and that's just.
I can only imagine that.
Oh yeah, that would bring me to a big puddle. So,
Yeah.
but he scored tens all across the board. So a perfect score here in his first perfect score of the season. Well deserved. Well deserved.
I thought this was actually pretty cool. Actually, the other thing was because this was a foxtrot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how Bendy did a contemporary, but Whitney was able to kind of transform it into a foxtrot. I thought that was kind of cool because they're so different, but the way it felt very natural replicating it. But
Yeah,
but it's just kind of nice to see it in like a
different
classical
format.
ballroom dance instead.
Yeah, it was a nice dance. And he did a good job.
Yeah, no, very well done.
So next we had Whitney and Mark. They did an Argentine tango to Cell Block Tango. And this was inspired by Gabby Windy and Val, their season 31 finale freestyle. And they scored a perfect score, 4 tens.
Yeah, I mean, it was well, we had Dylan in the mix, who actually got all tens as well, but of course the top three made it all. So
The top 3 got all tens.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then but yeah, it was interesting, Dylan. But yeah, I mean, this one, you kind of watched it, right, and then as it was going on, you just knew like, oh, this is gonna be an all tens thing if they keep up
pull it
this
off.
pace, and nothing happens, and of course nothing did, but
It was great. They brought forth great energy, great facials as always. It was a really good dance too.
yeah, I mean, it was a very classical, I think, take on it, and yeah, I mean, it's very, I don't know, it's like the classical, and then Mark throws his sprinkles his ideas on it, but
Yeah,
yeah, no, I mean, it was very well done.
very well done. And Derek said it was dripping in elegance and control. So next we had the dance relay competition. So relay 1 was a quick step to I Get a Kick Out of You by Michael Bublé. And this was Jordan. She was paired with Apollo, who was a season 4 winner, versus Elaine, who was paired with Rashad, who was the season 24 winner. And the winner who got 2 extra bonus points was Jordan.
This whole idea is it was interesting to me because especially with like Apollo, right? Or because Apollo mentioned, right? I think he hadn't danced since the show, and I think it was like
Yeah, season
13 years
4
ago.
versus a 24 winner.
Right. So then it was kind of. I mean, I gotta say he did phenomenal. I mean, you would have never thought it
I
had been
can't believe
13
that.
yees.
And then they won.
Yeah.
So,
Well, he did.
wow.
I mean, he must have just picked it up. Like, I guess I don't know, maybe because of the athleticism from being an Olympian, but
Yeah.
I mean, he did kind of just pick it up almost like he just had, stopped yesterday or something. So I was very amazed at how, because at first going in it, I thought, man, they're going to be really rough and then it's going to really hurt, Jordan or Elaine, right? Or even, I mean, even for a shot, right? Because it's still been a couple of years for him. But I got to say, they did very well. And I guess, I mean, they won, but yeah, you probably wouldn't have noticed it had been, or guessed it had been years since they had last done it all.
I know. It was pretty impressive. So, Relay 2 is a Viennese Waltz to Earned It by the Weekend. And this was Dylan paired with Rumor Willis, who is a season 20 winner, and Andy paired with Caitlin Bristow, which is a season 29 winner. And in this dance, Andy ripped open his shirt and exposed his 6-pack.
I gotta say, this was very fun. I thought this was fun. I mean, this was probably one of my favorites for Andy because it was just this very fun, lighthearted. And I mean, he played the role so well.
It was great. It was great.
Him selling the role just as the of portrayment in this was, I think, far better than Dylan. I mean, of course, Dylan's technicals were a lot better, and that's
why Dylan won, and he got the 2 extra bonus points because the chemistry with Dylan and Rumor too, that it was really good.
Yeah. I mean, theirs was very well done,
but Andy had that like comedic effect and wow factor there.
Yeah, and just the expressions, the facial expressions with I mean, it was fun, but yeah, I mean, of course, Dylan had the I think upper hand. Got to go into this, but no, I mean, they were both good. So
yeah, that was entertaining. And then the last relay, we had a jive song, and Robert was paired with Xochitl Gomez, season 32 winner, and Alex was paired with Joey Grazade, season 33 winner. And Robert took it home. But I thought his connection with Xochitl, they just made a great pair. They're both like energetic, great.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was the dance that's in Robert's wheelhouse, which is the jive.
Yeah, I mean, jive is like, that's his dance. I mean,
you could tell he was just dying to do that again, too. And how much fun he had with it was very evident.
Yeah. I have to say, I got to give, Xochitl mentioned she hadn't done, she never did a jive during her
never
her
did a
time there.
jive. And then she had to go perform it, which she was amazing at doing it for the first time.
And I think it is, right? I think if you are, you just kind of have more of this, you're like the kind of energizer bunny, right, with this, then it's a huge benefit to you. And
the two of them just had so much energy, so it was a great match.
Yeah, they blended beautifully well, and it was very well done.
And then Alex and Joey had like the trick that they added in where Joey's going over Alex's head, and
I didn't even understand what was happening here.
Some crazy weird moments there.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I think, there's another moment where he hit her in the face. I mean, there's like 2 or 3 moments in the training where she got hit in the face from him. So
yeah.
I was really shocked that they kind of kept going. I didn't even understand once they did the move in the real show. I don't know. I wasn't even like, it didn't even feel like that cool of a trick. I don't know. I guess it was just.
It turned out kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole thing felt, and then I've got to say, really, I think out of all the previous champions, Joey felt the weakest.
And he was like the most recent.
He was last year's winner.
Yeah, that's why it's
that's
very odd.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
You would expect like, oh my gosh, Joey's going to blow everybody away. He just got off this dance floor.
Yeah.
But then it was like the total opposite.
But
Apollo was like the one of the best. And he was like in one of the first seasons. So
yeah, I mean, he was the longest one to have not danced since this. And he was one of the best. So I mean, I don't know, that was really
That's weird.
That was really because I don't know, right? You'd kind of instinctually think, oh, Joey's gonna do great. But
and I bet Robert was like fearful of Joey, like, oh my gosh, a recent winner.
Well, yeah, and I think for him it was just more of a, time to step it up and
Yeah, time to
wait.
go into full crazy mode with this jive.
Yeah.
And he did that. So the final leaderboard had Whitney, Robert, and Dylan at the very top, and they all had 42 points. And Whitney and Mark had that 2-point immunity bonus. And then Robert and Dylan had the 2-point relay bonus. And then we had Alex and Val at 40 points because they didn't win the relay. And then Jordan and Ezra, 39 points. Elaine and Alan, 36 points. And Andy and Emma, 29 points. So pretty far down there. And goodbye to Andy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like we said, I was a little bit stunned that he finally went home, but I mean, I think it's only fair at this point, especially because I mean everybody else was 9s or above, and then he was still like in 7s, right, and had 1/8. So
And I think he knew it made sense at this time too. It was a very like emotional farewell, but you can just tell like, yeah, this makes sense. Like that was written all over his face. Like,
well, and he kind of went into this, I even think, right, and I think he talked about it with like pretty much every week expecting to go home, right, and you can even kind of see it in his face every time, right, that it was somebody else that he was
just like,
stunned that it
"What?
wasn't him, and
How could this be?"
but I think he's pretty much gone this whole season thinking it's him every
Yeah,
time.
every time.
So I always would think, right, after worrying about it so much that finally it's kind of your time.
It's
But
now over. But he's coming back pretty soon because they bring everybody back in the final.
yeah, well, and I mean, I
episodes.
think I mean, I would have never guessed he would have made it this far.
Yeah. So we'll see him again in a few weeks.
Right. But yeah, I mean, we've got a really tough. I mean, I would say, right. I think at this point, almost anyone, Elaine, I think probably will be the next to go because, I mean, she's got the potential, but I just don't know if. I mean, they'll have to really execute to maybe try to get, they'll probably need to at least get 2 10s, I think, if not 3 10s next week.
Right. I mean, especially with these top 3 people.
Yeah, well, and even Dylan, right? I mean, he had a great night. I think he's not as consistent, I think, as the others, but I mean, he's definitely got the potential. I mean, if he does his best, and
I mean, he can work his way in there. Jordan can work her way in there. It's like Dylan and Jordan are almost tied in their ability to work their way.
yeah, I mean, I would say really, if someone has just a perfect night, right, and then somebody else or a couple of the others just don't have a great night, right? I mean,
Right. If something little goes wrong with somebody else.
yeah.
So
It's definitely very close between everyone. I mean, it's going to be, everyone really has to step it up, right? Because one mistake really could be
Cost
the
you.
reason and not making it at this point. Because everyone's up there in the skill level now. So.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for tuning in to A Fine Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in. Check us out on social media and like and subscribe if you haven't already.
That's right. And we will see you next week when we review Dancing with the Stars Prince Night.
Yeah, so all those classic hits, we will see them come back to life. It'll be
Yeah,
fun.
we can't wait.
We'll see you then.
We'll see you then.
Ciao.
Bye.